For Lincoln Riley. I mean, overall, I didn't really know about Cali like that. I just chose Coach Riley, and I believed in him and what he's doing with quarterbacks.
What's your best Lincoln Riley story?
Shoot, probably the day he offered me, because he wasn't really planning on offering me that day because he doesn't offer many kids. So, we sat down and watched film all day, and we talked about. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle. Check me out there. And also check out activebeblack.com. Activebeblack.com. You can get 10% off anything on activebeblack.com. So check them out. It's still hot outside, so you got all the gear for the pool, everything like that, and also sweatshirts, sweatpants. And if you want to get that Allen Iverson collection, you want to get something. If you're a big Muhammad Ali fan, you want to get your dad something with Muhammad Ali merch on there. They have that rights to put that together for you too as well. So check that out at activebeblack.com. And then they are a supporter of the show, so definitely check them out as far as that goes. Paul Feinbaum. Hey, Paul Feinbaum. Again, he said some stuff ironically at the SEC Media Day. So it's SEC Media Day, and they're talking about USC. Again, SEC Media Day talking about USC. That's, if it makes sense, make it make sense as far as that goes. And then he got into it again the very next day with Christopher Magdal Russo. A lot of these arguments are, because I used to work in television, like some of those, maybe you get a couple authentic arguments, but a lot of those arguments are just kind of staged and fake. Chris Russo has been arguing sports for a long time. Him and Mike Francesa are like the OGs of that debate stuff. But as far as that goes, Feinbaum is a clown. Like we all know he's a clown. This guy is just, it's SEC or nothing else. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about any other conference. It's all about the SEC, and it is what it is. Like there are some years where it is about the SEC. But as we get these conferences and the conference realignment, all those things like that, you get in a situation where it's not going to be that way. And they can at times, some years, be just the Alabama, Georgia, occasional LSU, occasional Ole Miss. But for the most part, like sometimes, when we go see these teams play in bowl games, like my only issue with the SEC is that we're talking about the top of the conference, or we're talking about the whole conference. Talking about top of the conference or the whole conference, because a lot of times it's that middle tier of the conference to the bottom is not anything to write home about, and that's where you get the strength of your conference. Now, if you're going out there and it's just Alabama and Georgia winning that conference every year with a sprinkle of LSU, I don't want to get Tiger fans that mad at me, but sprinkle a little dash of LSU here and there, then you have that moment, right? But that's what people think college football is. They think it's only this conference and that's it. It's not. It's not necessarily so. So I would say, I don't know why he's talking about USC, but I think this is the thing. We have to understand that these TV show hosts have producers. Those producers have to answer for ratings. Those ratings need engagement. And what drives engagement is social media. So he has to go out there and say something. He can't just say, hey, Kellen DeBoer said this. So-and-so said this. Lane Kiffin said that. He has to come up with something else that's a little bit more on the edge. And you notice how ESPN gained traction from that argument. So they went and took it to another day with Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Like that's what happens when you are, trying to, get sports talk and you have to go and aggregate and do and make up fake arguments. Like, yes, if he doesn't win this year, then that's going to be a problem for Lincoln Riley. But that contract is huge, and who's doing the buyout of that contract? So I mean, I think they're going to have a good year. I don't think they are very typical. I don't think USC is really deep, but if they're able to handle their 22 players, the 22 starters, they should be fine. And then hopefully in some of these games they can rotate and get people in there. So the Bear Alexanders of the world and all these other primetime players don't have to play every single snap. So when you need them against Penn State, when you need them against Michigan, when you need them against Notre Dame, they can come through. But the whole Feinbaum thing is just it's almost tired. It's almost tired now. It's just like everybody was talking this Juju stuff, Juju this, Juju that. And then Juju goes on with Adam Brenneman, and he just says he just knocks out the park and just says, "I chose Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley chose me." He knew, all that stuff like that. So people are just saying stuff that they don't have any information on. That's the thing that I really don't like about today's media. Like, back in the day when you had John Clayton doing baseball, you had Chris Mortensen doing football. Like they didn't, I can't think of the other old NBC guy who used to be my favorite. But when those guys had information on sports, they got information on sports. It wasn't this whole thing where, hey, guess what? I'm gonna throw out some stuff to just throw it out there because I need to get clicks. That's what this is now. So I don't overreact to a Feinbaum. I don't overreact to a Josh Pate. I don't do any of that stuff because what are we doing? I think USC fans distinctly have a good grasp on what this team is like. We know we're not deep. We know that the biggest hole in the defense is the defensive tackle situation, but you never know. You never know if somebody can step up there and make some plays. We'll see. I mean, some of these guys have made some big transformations physically. Now they have to find out, how to play at that weight and be effective at that weight. That's what fall camp's for, and hopefully they'll be ready for LSU on September 1st. Juju comes out and just says, lets everybody know that, hey, flat out, I'm a Trojan, so all the cameras pretty much go away. I'm sure when that interview came up with Adam, he just said everybody watched it and just said, okay, I'm turning this off because the national media on threes, the 24/7s, everybody like that, but they probably just turned it off because they said, okay, he didn't say anything interesting because he just said that he's been a hard commit to USC. And he's going to continue to be a hard commit to USC, and he's going to USC. So for right now, like that's where he's going. There's no information out there lingering that says anything to the contrary. That's where people, fans get upset, get annoyed. Is okay, fine. He might get flipped to Colorado. So give me a reason why. Give me some information to why he might flip to Colorado or flip to Auburn. As long as it's Auburn, as long as it's Hugh Freeze, as long as it's Auburn and Colorado, I'm not worried about all that at all. That's the least of my worries right now. So if it does happen, it does happen. Some people will say, hey, well, why go out there and go get a big time quarterback? We have a guy. We have the ability to maybe save some of that NIL money. So from what I hear, when you listen to the guys who cover USC, and say and stuff like that, they say that the money isn't the issue. They haven't been executing. So that's where the frustration is coming. Like the money is there, but the execution has not been great. Right. So if execution is not going to be great, then that's where the issue comes in. as far as that goes. But let's hear what Juju had to say about Lincoln Riley.
I chose USC for Lincoln Riley. I mean, overall, I didn't really know about Cali like that. I just chose Coach Riley, and I believed in him and what he's doing with quarterbacks.
What's your best Lincoln Riley story?
Shoot, probably the day he offered me, because he wasn't really planning on offering me that day, because he doesn't offer many kids. So, we sat down and watched film all day, and we talked about. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. He offered me, and it took me. I don't know how long it took me for me to verbally commit. I think I came back like 3 weeks later, and I was like, okay. I chose USC for Lincoln Riley. Overall, I didn't really know about Cali like that.
That it kind of goes to part and parcel to what we're talking about here. He is a very talented quarterback. He seems like he fits. All Lincoln Riley's quarterbacks are like the same height, same size, a lot of the same attributes, if you will. He can move a little bit, and his right arm is incredible. So I would be this. It seems like a good marriage. I'd be shocked if it wasn't a good marriage. I'll just be shocked. I'll leave it at that. I'm excited to see what he does. We'll see if he plays a redshirt freshman. I know some people in my USC chat say no. My man Coach B, who I'll be on Friday on his show. I think it's called Fight on Fridays. So Fight on Fridays, you can join us for that one too. I think for me, it's like I think he has a chance to play, but usually people don't play in his in Lincoln Riley's redshirt freshman season. That's why Jaden Mayev is here. He has a great opportunity to really kind of take a stranglehold of that quarterback position next year, because you have to think, if Miller Moss has a really good year this year, he'd have a chance to get drafted somewhere in the National Football League in the 2025 draft, as far as that goes. So recruit alert. So they do have a commitment from Tanuk Hines right out of the great state of Texas. Just gives you all the speed. And like I said, for Gabe, does a great job at Trojan Blade. USCJ does a great job giving you all the recruit stuff and all the behind the scenes. Like I said, I do more, all 22 of the guys who are on the team right now, breakdowns of what's going on right now. But just the background he has is he's a speed merchant. He's 6'1", I think 180, 190 right now, and he just gives you that tremendous speed. Nickname is Nunu, so you could be Juju to Nunu for a touchdown. As far as that goes, but like that is, we know what speed does to this roster, right? The couple games, where Branch doesn't play, or couple seasons back when Jordan Addison couldn't go, like that's a big deal. Like, that was a big deal in the first time they played Utah in that classic game in Eccles Field or whatever, the stadium. That was a big part of the game. I think in the third quarter, Jordan Addison went out, and if Jordan Addison stays in that game, the way they're playing offensively, even with the Alex Grinch, special, of course, defensively, that really, to me, it just shows you how important it is to shift those safeties. You got to move corners. You got to do all these things defensively. You got to try to drop linebackers in coverage so they're not coming downhill. It's tough. If you blitz, then it's going to be it could be a bomb over the top. So that should be something. It's another wide receiver for that class. So that should be so that's then they have 3 or 4 receivers now in the 25 class. So you got to start building that up. They do have to get some. They only have 1 linebacker right now, and they're going to be losing their entire linebacking core next year. So they're going to have to replenish that as well. But it's plenty of time. Plenty of time. You got a couple of transfer cycles, and then you also have you also have more time to talk to some recruits, and we'll see what happens there. College Football 25 is out. Go get your copy. I'm not going to be getting that until the end of the month, so I'll let you know how everything goes as far as that goes. But people are having a ball playing it. Some of the scores have been outrageous. I've seen like 111-7. Some of these scores, and people are like just destroying people with the with their teams, or with some teams that teams that they created. So have fun with that. You know, it's fun. No question about it. It's fun to play those games. And we spend a lot of time. People don't understand the joy of playing those video games, and I can tell them this is like if you were a singer, or if you're a big fan of music, you can never go. You can play Guitar Hero, but you can never like go sing like Whitney Houston or Janet Jackson or any other singer, Mariah Carey, whoever you fancy as a great singer, Lauryn Hill. I'm trying to get somebody a little bit more current, but that's okay. Current music kind of sucks anyway. But when you sit back and you play these games, you're in control as the video game, as you're holding the controller. You can call the plays. You can make things happen the way you want it to happen, and you find out how good you are at calling plays and how bad you are at calling plays. So, I do think it's a cool thing to have that game back in rotation. Happy to see that EA did that. And that's for the play. I still understand the players who opted out. Don't still understand how Manning from Texas, who hasn't played it down, got all that money for his appearance in the game, considering that he hasn't played a snap yet. But hey, that's how they do in the great state of Texas. All right, Student Body Right, USC podcast. Thank you for joining us here on the pod, and we will see you next time. Fight on.